let some of the people that are still logging into the webinar, and we're going to be starting soon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I think we are ready to start. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us today, or good evening, depending on the part of the world you are joining us today. This webinar is being presented by Procomer. My name is Michelle Corriols, Director of the Trade Office here of Procomer Canada. Just a little bit of housekeeping here. I like to make sure that your microphones are muted at this time. This webinar is being recorded, and a link is going to be sent for you later after we finish. And we're going to have a question and answer period at the end of the session. So make sure that if you have any question during the presentation, to put it on the panel. At the end, we're going to be answering them. So I'd like to take the opportunity to present my co-speakers today. So we have Joanna, if you can. So we have Joanna Davila. Joanna is one of our food specialists. She's based in head office in Costa Rica. She's an international trade expert, and she's been assisting the exporters for more than 15 years now in Procomer. So we also have Laura Quesada, another of our food specialists in Costa Rica as well. Laura is an international trade specialist, and she also has an specialization in commerce, which is very convenient and very important at this time. And myself, I'm the consular agent of commercial affairs of Procomer in Canada. I'm the director of the office. I've been working international trade for the past 12 years, and I have a degree in food engineering. So just to continue over the next hour, we're going to talk about who we are, what does smart or be smart means, but the most important takeaway that we want you to have from these webinars today is that we like you to see the Costa Rican food offer from a different perspective. I think many of you might have attended the food innovation session that we had a couple of weeks ago. In that opportunity, we presented more about the growing categories in US and how the Costa Rican offer can, supply this category. Today is more about the storytelling of our products, their benefits, the tradition, and their impact in our lives. So let's get started. Procomer. So Procomer is the export promotion agency of Costa Rica. Our main mandate is to promote Costa Rica trade and investment internationally. We have 40 offices around the world. And the North American, we have 3 offices in North America. Michael Lopez is our director in New York. Zacarias Ayub is the director of our office in Miami, and I'm the director of, as I said, the office in Canada, which is based in Toronto. So why being smart? So when we talk about being smart, I think it's important to understand that there are 2 components that we have. One is what it has to do with the manufacturing of the products, and the other with the consumer behavior. So let's talk first about the developing and the manufacturing of the food. Nowadays, we have growing population, because of the climate change, we have natural resources, a reduction in the natural resources. We have now more crowded cities. So all these aspects has to be taken into consideration. But on the other hand, we have the consumer. Now we are facing with a more informed consumer. Then when he goes to the supermarket, he will just not buy a snack just for the main purpose of the regular nutrition. No, he wants to know, he reads the labels, he's looking to having clean labels. He shares in social media, he compares and he asks, where is this product coming from? Is this company being manufactured in a sustainable way? Are they being good to their employees? So there are a lot of and of course all these like questions that consumers has. It's also related as well to the generation that we are talking. It could be, it's different the way to the millennials or the boomers or the generation X approach to the products right now. For example, the millennials being more into the relation in the being mindful of their moment, or the food and the relation with the food, with their experience. So at the end of the day, what we want to present to you today is that the consumer now is doing smart choices. So that means that also the consumer and the manufacturer needs to provide a more value-added offer. Next. So it comes like to talk about which are the main international trends because of this consumer behavior that we are looking. So of course, the functional, free from products are very important. That we have the plant-based, that is not only because of the vegan or the vegetarian diets, but it's also because of the care of the environment and the sustainability. Very ready-to-eat products, or product based on certification, religious certification like kosher or halal. So we came like for our very, as I said at the beginning of my introduction, it's about we develop our very own categories that I like to show in the next slide. Once again, it's about the story behind each category. So our proposition is eat sustainable, eat heritage, eat healthy, eat convenience, eat pretty, and eat love. So let's go to the first category, that is eat sustainable. So in recent years, US consumers have been looking for more sustainability from the food industry practices, from packaging to production. Shoppers have been willing to pay more to feel like they are helping the environment. And Costa Rica, in Costa Rica, we can say that sustainability for sure is part of our DNA. We're aiming to be the first carbon neutral country in the world. We had more than 26 protected areas in national parks in the country, and 99% of our electricity come from renewable resources. So indeed, Costa Rica has set up an example to the world. We are considered a sustainable country, and also this translates into our food products. But as you know, being sustainable is not only about the environment. We have to look for the prosperity of the environment, both the environment and the people. So a great example about Costa Rica working under sustainability is the cooperative model that we have, and is totally spread around the territory. And even before we had like fair trade certification, because of the regulations in Costa Rica and this kind of model, we were already taking care of of our employers, of the social progress of the companies, of the people working in our companies. So to name a few, there are some certifications that our products have, and that they're not only for of course, the food safety, which is tremendously important, but also sustainable certifications like the Rainforest Alliance, Certified B Corporation, and fair trade, of course. So I like to invite Laura to give us some examples of how Costa Rica can provide an offer to eat sustainable.
Michelle, one of the samples that we want to bring you today is the artisan water. The artisan water has a different extraction process from other types of water. In Costa Rica, we have a company that works this type of process. This company is located on a mountain, so the water naturally flows down through the mountain and reaches to tank 1 without any type of pumping, and is packed at the same place in a reusable aluminum or glass container as an environmental responsibility of the company. Also, they manage a reforestation program in the region where they are located. They use a QR code to recreate the sound of the nature when somebody buys this product. The second category or product that we would like to bring you is the Costa Rican fishery industry, which has evolved in the recent years to offer a product with a less environmental impact. For example, fishery is in the second year of the transition period that accredit as a fishery in progress. In the fifth year, they can opt for MSC certification. The species that are being worked on during this period are tuna, mahi-mahi or dorado, and swordfish, and all these species are already exported mainly to US. Nowadays, Costa Rica fishery works on 3 specific things: survey on the scientific information, promotion of more selective fishing gear, such as green stick, licensing on the national fleet with GPS location control. I want to mention that Costa Rica has a shark management program too. In the case of agriculture, we have a producer of species like shrimp, snapper, tilapia, and trout that they are supported by certifications such as organic and BAB. The third product that I would like to talk to you about is organic sugar because of its environmental commitment. The variety is Demerara, which is a unrefined sugar, and the milk that work with this type of product has focused on obtaining important certification like a USDA Organic, Kosher, FSSC 22000, and Blue Flag, among others. And the last product, but not less important, is our famous green coffee. Why? Because this is one of the most committed industry regarding environmental and the social part. Green coffee or golden bean is the fifth product export of Costa Rica, representing more than 2% of the control export, total export. The creation of environmentally friendly and economically sustainable coffee industry support producers in reducing costs, diversifying income, and as well capital formation. The coffee harvest is very labor intensive, employing an estimated 150,000 workers whose family can benefit from healthy coffee market. This is the part of the coffee that we want you to keep in mind because the coffee sector is working with the European Union in a project called NAMA Coffee. The project helps underdeveloped countries company to comply with the standard of international certification, mainly European one. The project started 3 years ago in Costa Rica, and for the 2017 edition of Anuga Fair Trade Show in Germany, a group of companies from the sector participated like a NAMA group of company. Now, we want to show you a short video about the sustainability process that this sector takes.
Okay, so this brings us to our second category, Eat Heritage. And I live in Toronto, Canada, and I think this is one of the most multi-ethnic cities in the world, where 1 of every 5 people is an immigrant here in Canada. So when it comes to food, we are highly exposed to new foods, new flavors. You can see it even in the restaurant chains or at the stores. And it's very interesting like to see how the ethnic categories now are starting to find their place in the mainstream chains. So totally, I would say that the ethnic category is no longer a niche. So we like to say that heritage is something that is very close to our hearts. It's understanding where the products are coming from and what is the tradition behind them. So I don't know if you're familiar with the blue zone regions of the world. So just an example, Costa Rica is one of that zones. It's in the Nicoya Peninsula. And this region, what is very characteristic of a blue zone is that the people who lives there for a long time. So they have longevity. So there are several factors that they have studied like to understand why these blue zones have these characteristics. But one of them is actually the food and the way we prepare it. So it's very interesting like to understand how this tradition is happening in Costa Rica. And Eat Heritage is our way to invite you to experience the Costa Rican products and to learn the traditions behind them. So Joanna, can you tell us tell us a little bit about these traditions behind our Costa Rican products?
For sure, Michelle. Okay, understanding heritage as well. We have the gems. I think in the other slide. Well, we have the gems, and one of the main characteristics that I love it is that they are made with a high percentage of fruits. I don't know if you're now seeing the slide. No? Okay, I'm going to press over here. Ready. Okay, so I was telling that they are made with a high percentage of fruits, mostly tropical fruits as guava, pineapple, mango, passion fruit, coconut. And one strength of this category is the innovation. We make sugar-free, we make gluten-free jams, and actually we have the jam-filled chocolates, delicious, by the way. So these kind of products are very positioned in the industrial sector at places like bakeries, restaurants, ice cream factories, and they use it like fillers or toppings. And the private label is highly demanded as well in this category because a lot of big supermarkets are asking for gems with its own names. So the other product is sauces. Well, I want to tell you that Costa Rica has a sauce production industry for more than 50 years. And one of the most recognized brands is the Lizano sauce by tradition. It's the green square that you see in the presentation. We use it in everything. We use it from the breakfast, lunches, typical meals, everything. And it's a Worcestershire style sauce, and it's very popular around the world as a Costa Rica sauce. But it's important not to talk just only about the traditional sauces like ketchup, barbecue, etc. No, we want to talk about the spices too, which are elaborated with the habanero, cayenne, Tabasco, Scorpion, Carolina Reaper, and I suppose that you have heard some of these names. Actually, some of us call them soul burners. And well, of course, we use the tropical fruits, as Michelle said, the passion fruit, coconut, the same from the gems. And another important characteristic is that the companies work very hard to promote the private label industry in order to the customer needs. Okay. Regarding the next categories. Okay, no, I have one slide, just an example of the packagings that we have or the examples that from the free from products that we have in the sauces category. Okay, regarding the liquors and the coffee, two of my favorite categories. Well, the liquors, we have more than 170 years producing alcohol, and we can highlight two main drinks produced by Costa Rican companies. Actually, I have one over here. I don't know if you can see it over here. And well, the two drinks are a hard liquor and rum, as I already said, and we have also flavored alcoholic beverages that are very good too. But basically, this product that I show you use the Solera method, which consists in age the rum in American white oak barrels. These barrels are very special because were used to age Scotch many years ago. So the production or the barrels production plus the characteristic of the Costa Rican weather plus our sugarcane as a raw material, all these together make the aging process perfect, resulting in flavors as wood, vanilla, chocolate, and exotic fruits. Actually, the company create a new slogan, which is Age by Nature. The new concept linked to the country, to the country image. Okay, regarding coffee, I can talk for hours about the coffee. So I'm going to start saying that Costa Rica has been producing coffee since 200 years ago, and we have created some coffee quality standards worldwide. We were the first country to start its coffee culture at Central America. In our geographic position bring us certain benefits as volcanic and very fertile soils. We have an excellent weather for the Arabic variety. I don't know if you know, but we do not produce Robusta yet. So I was wondering, which is our value proposition in the coffee? Well, the Arabic variety, as I mentioned, and the special process that we have developed, the honey process, the natural process, the anaerobic process, just to mention some of them. And all these processes make the difference in the Costa Rican flavors coffee. So we have at the country, we have 8 different coffee growing regions. One of them is Tabrasu. I don't know if you have heard that name, but in fact, it's important to highlight that Costa Rican coffee already has a geographical indication and something that is very valued at the coffee industry. And the last valuable characteristic that I want to mention is that our green bean usually gets more than 85 grade at the SCA tastings. SCA, the Specialty Coffee Association. So, in a very lovely way to say, we have a specialty coffee by nature. Okay, in the next slide, let me show you. We have this picture of the whole coffee process. We have the process from the sherry to the green bean packaging, and we have the labs in the companies, which demonstrate the consistency in quality of the coffee from the companies. Okay. Regarding the flowers and plantain snack, cassava snacks, as Michelle said, we have a region called Guanacaste, which is considered a blue zone, and when we went to talk about this, I think, how basic can a flower be, but how different can a flower from a blue zone can be. So the purple currant that you can see in the presentation is produced in one of this region called Guanacaste, and it has become a superfood due to the antioxidants and the high fiber content. So here it is not only important to talk about the purple currant because we have different flowers from cassava. I have over here sorry, it's up here. The coconut over here, and we have over here the the cassava is this one, and the cocoa was the last one. I don't know if you can. Okay. And these kind of products or raw materials are very native from Costa Rica and are these one of the most popular trends products nowadays. As a good complement of flowers, we have the cassava and the plantain snacks. These two products are widely used in Latin American dishes, and companies have developed innovative process in order to keep the consumers' attention. So, an interesting info is that Costa Rica has more than 90 export companies dedicated to the cassava production, and they represent the 3% of the total agriculture exports. This kind of products now becomes an alternative for diets low in fat, high in fiber, and suitable for celiacs. All these presentations are examples of the products that we have and frozen products.
Well, I don't know about you, but now I'm craving for a cup of coffee from Costa Rica at this time. Now the next category that we have, eat healthy. Without a doubt, this category is very important, especially on these unprecedented times that we are living. Now the consumer is becoming more aware about taking care of their health. So according to a Nielsen study that was launched in December 2019, how America will eat. There is still room to grow for companies trying to win a space in the healthy food category. So the billions in sales growth from fresh fruits, I'm going to check my numbers here. So 4.6 billion in fresh foods. In organics, the growth was in 925 million. And on foods that are supported the plant-based diet, the growth is in 98 million. And this could bring the idea, oh no, this category is already very saturated, but not at all. The reality is that the consumers aren't eating as well as they like to. So there's still an opportunity to grow in this consumer packaged goods category. The good news is that in Costa Rica, we have you covered. We have a wide area of healthy food, healthy snacks. We take the advantages of the richness of our country with the fruits and vegetables that are grown in the country and then processed into different kind of food products like flours, snacks, sugar-free and gluten-free products. So I let Laura to explain to us a little bit more about which are the healthy options that we have in the country.
As I mentioned before, demerara sugar is an unrefined sugar. But we want to mention in this trend because demerara type of sugar is considered a natural energy source, contain more fiber, mineral, and vitamin, and it has a lower glycemic index than the normal sugar. We have a company that offers a blend of demerara sugar with a real fruit, giving it a coconut, a pineapple, and mango flavor. And demerara sugar is a gluten-free and non-GMO product. One of the products that can be included in the special food regime is the hair of palm, which is the stem that is extracted from the palm tree and contains more than 38% of potassium, which helps to regulate the function of the heart and muscle. Also, this veggie helps to prevent anemia. It can be consumed in salad, but at the next slide, you can see that it's very common to find it in preserves and canning. Also, companies in Costa Rica offer this veggie in a vacuum packaging or in an innovative product such as cream or spaghetti. Imagine sharing a carbo for a veggie. Amazing. The third product in our offer that we want to include in this trend is the frozen fruit because they become a natural option for a quick snack. The process, known as IQF, giving the fruit a cold blow that frees it from hair out. The IQF process allows preserving the properties and the nutrients of the fruit without adding preservatives or chemicals. Using extremely cold temperatures eliminate the risk of dangerous microorganisms forming in the process. This kind of process are wanted on the food and service industry by hotels and restaurants because the IQF fruit become an excellent option for the client. Gluten is a protein found in seed and many cereals. Besides to being part of the traditional bread, gluten is also used in the food industry as an additive to preserve, improve, or increase some attributes in food. For this reason, and as Joanna said, several companies have innovated in gluten-free flour. In the following slide, you could see a sort of kind of veggies, tubers, and fruit processed as a flour. For example, cassava, banana, melon, dragon fruit, carrots, and others.
Well, that brings us to our next category, eat convenience. And as I mentioned at the earlier of the presentation, the ready-to-eat meals is one of the main global trends in food. And I think this is a category that is very interesting to watch now with the pandemic, because before the COVID-19 hit, probably you will see a lot of studies or saying about that we were living in a such fast-paced world with the working professionals, people being away from the home all day, so they didn't have time to cook, and that's what the reason why they needed ready-to-eat meals. But now the pandemic came, and now everyone is home, everyone is cooking, everyone is experiencing this new, like becoming bakers. And it's very interesting, like to see how some staple foods like the flour, the sugar increase their sales tremendously, right? And even for sometimes even in the supermarkets, they were out of stock. But that doesn't mean at all that because people are at home, we don't need convenience anymore. And this is a voice of a full-time professional mom of a 5-year-old and a baby. More than ever, we need to have consumer very convenient options from the food manufacturers. So we need a variety of frozen food, pre-cooked food in order to make our lives easier at this time. But also, it's very interesting that, for example, in Canada, snacking became more and more important. At least in Canada, this category had a growth of 60%. And imagine you are at your home, so you are moving, from your living room to the room, and you are always continually is snacking, and that's the reason why this category had a big growth. And even the consumers, again, because they do not have, because they are working and balancing, work and having the family at the house, they're even substituting the meals for snacks. So, Joanna, tell us how Costa Rica can help at this moment to eat convenience.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we spend more time at the house, but we don't want to cook all the time. So all these options that I'm going to present you are very nice. Okay, I'm going to, I don't know, Laura, you can, no? Okay, I'm going to do it, don't worry. Okay, the frozen fruit and vegetables. Okay, what is healthier than vegetables and fruits? They always tell us, people, doctors, that our dishes should contain a good portion of vegetables and fruits. So having them frozen and ready to cook becomes a quick and practical option for the consumers. We have companies with root tubers ready to eat. You just need to cook in the oven or in the air fryer or the way that you prefer. For example, the hash browns that you can see over there is a cassava hash brown. So it's an excellent option and very good for kids and for the practical life. And there are an excellent base for several dishes at the kitchen. Here we have products as cassava, banana, plantain as well. In the case of the frozen fruits, there are companies that have chunks, rings. Actually, the presentation that you can see over there, there's the rings. Well, is a retail presentation, of course, but it's the rings, the spears, but we have this, the sticks, and we have pineapples and papaya and other fruits as well, and are an excellent option for children's snacks. All these companies are very careful of their raw materials, and it is one of the sector most support in terms of quality certifications as well. Okay, regarding the tuna for years is one of the most convenient and practical proteins. In Costa Rica, as Laura said, we have a huge production of canned tuna under very friendly environmental practices. And we have one of the most premium presentations on the international market. As you can see over there in the corner of the image of the tuna, we have a glass jar. It's a very premium presentation. And we have two types of present the tuna, like fillets and belly tuna. And we have a difference that we have several flavor as garlic, olive oil, oregano, jalapeno, and even in water. So, well, regarding the dry fruits, we have been talking about fruits in all different presentations. So we cannot forget the dried fruits. And a fact about this excellent snack is that we handle three different processes: the dry process, the freeze dry, and the bake process. And some of the companies add some chocolate to the fruits and give several presentations as rings, as you can see over there. And we have the retail presentations, but we have a highly demand from several industries like confectionery and cereals as well. And the shelf life is more than 1 year, so it is and also a long-lasting food. Here is an example of the type of dry fruit that we have. In the upper level, we have like the baked fruits. We have guava, banana, and in the middle over here, we have the uses of the dried pineapple. We have over here the chocolate fruits. Here is like here we have some interesting product. Is like a baby food for adults, and I know that it's not dry fruit, but we want to show you this example as convenience snack as well. Okay. Well, one of the biggest concern of the consumer is to keep hydrated during the day. So these two options are perfect. We have in the left side, we have a normal hot tea with the only difference that you can prepare it in cold water with ice. And this is a new and convenience option for the teas, keeping all the health benefits of the product. And on the right side, we have powder drinks. And it's a convenience beverage too, made with stevia and with sugar. And they have been very popular in recent months with the goal or the main goal of avoiding sodas. So this type of products become a very smart purchase since they are economical, healthy, and practical. Oh, I forgot to show you. I have over here the image of the powder beverage. And we have mixes like piña, pineapple, sorry, cocoa, nut, and banana.
Next category, eat pretty. And this category it's quite related to eat healthy. Because in this category, what we want to enhance is the importance that food has beyond its traditional nutrition. It's what more about what it does to our well-being and other benefits that food can provide to our health. So it's about eating pretty. Is about being beautiful inside and out. So the movement among consumers to eat, there's a movement among consumers to eat more natural, organic, and cleaner to promote better health and wellness in morphing into and this is morphing into a new growing trend that is the convergence between food and beauty. So actually, there are some food and drink products that that can promote the skin, hair, and nails health. Now are often known as nutri-cosmetics, which is becoming one of the hottest new buzzwords in the consumer packaged good business. So and also as this relationship between beauty and food is also going not only for food but also in the cosmetics. So as you can see this category, in this category you'll see that almost the new cosmetics is something that you can prepare in your own kitchen. Very clean labels, as well as when as the consumer is requesting for the food, now they want to see the same thing into the cosmetics. So Laura, what can we eat to make us pretty?
Michelle, be beautiful in and out. I like it. That is why I want to start with aloe vera. This product has been used in medicine for thousands of years for its healing properties. The aloe vera leaf is made up for two parts, the peel and the pulp or gel. The gel is made up for more than 99% of water and 0.5% of solid. And there is 30% which contain the active ingredient of aloe vera. In this 0.5%, there are more than 160 different substances like vitamins, mineral, amino acids, and enzymes. In Costa Rica, we have aloe vera products that are manufactured under pharmaceutical standard of organic production with certifications such as HACCP and ISO 9001, among others. These products come in presentation like powders or gel and is used as an ingredient or supplier for the international food industry. The second product that I want to talk to you about is the chia oil because it has a high concentration of omega-3 and that's why it has a very beneficial effect on coronary and cardiovascular health. It reduces cholesterol, inflammation, and pain, improves the brain function, and boosts the immune system. And finally, but not less important, the company who produced this kind of products was born as the result of the celiac disease suffered by its founder, who in her desperation to find products that her stomach could assimilate, she decided to create her own gluten-free product company. Interesting, right? Now, the next product that is a product focused on athletes. The Sport Guava Bile provides not only carbo, but also electrolytes, which reduce the heat, stress, and the muscular strength because of sweating. Also, this product provides a lot of minerals and are made from guava pulp, so it doesn't contain a gluten or high fructose from corn syrup. As an open water swimmer, I know what it's like to have a muscle in the middle of the sea. So a product that relieves that pain or prevents it from happening, believe me, is a kind of blessing. I hope I'm not boring you because if you want energy, this last product of the trend is that drink. This drink based on a coffee mucilage. What is the coffee mucilage? It's the gelatinous layer that comes out from the coffee in a polishing process. Currently, Costa Rica has a company that takes advantage of the production of the coffee, innovating in drink like this. Joanna, can you show it, please? Thank you. That drink that Joanna showed us is a rich source of natural antioxidants that help to boost the immune system. In the current world situation, we must look good, feel good, and hopefully with a natural product. These products don't have a sugar added because it's sweetened with stevia, and they come in a normal drink like Joanna showed us, and in an energy shot. Finally, to end this trend, I would like to present a short video about other products that Costa Rica could offer you in the Eat Pretty trend.
And we are getting to our finally category, eat love. So consumers are actively seeking for moments that make them feel good, and they look for these indulgent experiences. So especially now, where this moment that in present times that we are living, it's about celebrating the moments that matter, to encourage people to indulge in the life pleasures without having this feeling of guilt. So right now, consumers are incredibly aware of their mental and emotional health, and see indulgence as a healthy, necessary part of our staying balanced, happy, and productive. Actually, there is a study of Mintel that says that 25% of consumers on purpose eat very healthy during the week to be able to have these indulgent moments during the weekend. So eat love is about having emotional food, our enjoying these occasions on special celebrations, about enjoying our family, enjoying our friends. So Joanna, what can you tell us about eat love? What Costa Rican has to offer on this category?
Okay, Michelle, if we are going to talk about love, for sure we need to talk about chocolate. So
Indeed.
the chocolate is one of the most representative products of this trend, and it means love. And the great flavor and the health benefits of the dark chocolate are similar at the coffee. But the premium chocolate the premium chocolate production is an art. Actually, this product requires a lot of attention since the farm to the final product, because there is involved a social and environmental responsibility in all the process. In essence, the love in this product mainly is back and forth, as you will see in the last video that we are going to show you. Okay, regarding craft beer and meat, I have some products over here that I want to show you. This is the meat. Look, the mason bottle. And I have over here an example of craft beer that I'm going to show you in a minute. Okay, regarding the and actually I was thinking if there is someone who doesn't like beer. I don't think so. Even the sector, because since 10 years ago, Costa Rica starts with the craft beer production. And I know it's a quite sector, but we have been recognized around the world for several international awards related with quality innovation. And added to the beer, we have the meat that I have shown you, which is a fermented drink based on water and honey. It's a very delicate and suitable drink. Actually, we have in Costa Rica, we have a brewers consortium which have represent the country in several trade shows as Anuga, Cial, and they have more than 80 international medals. In fact, our quality is at the same levels of different countries like United States, Brazil, and Mexico. Regarding the presentations that you will find, as you can see, you will find the glass bottles, the kegs, and the cans that I have shown you. Regarding well, this is our last slide. So regarding the tea, we already talked about tea and its benefits. So here we just want to inform you about the new blends in the market in order to create a comfort hot beverage, which some herbs or the use of some herbs like chamomile, ginger, peppermint. Most of them are used to control some health problems like nerves, stomachache, sleep problems, stress, and some of them are used to give us energy as well. So the last thing in these kind of companies or categories is that they are creating big size presentations to supply big supermarkets as, for example, PriceMart or Whole Foods. And regarding the nougat, our last category, the nougats are special products and all the people use them as a gift as well, the chocolates, as Michelle said. So for Valentine's, Christmas, or a special day. And most of our nougats have some nut. I have one over here, one example over here, as you can see. Oh, I ate it. Like all. So I have just like one or two. And the most important thing to highlight here is the presentation. We have bite-sized presentation, which is a very different thing in the market. So before to end the product's presentation, you will see a short video of the cacao process, but I would like to thanks for the time and attention that you gave us. So we are going to check the last video.
Chocolate en Agua es una empresa de chocolate artesanal. Iniciamos en el 2011 en una casa y hemos ido creciendo en el mercado. Actualmente exportamos a países en Europa, en Asia, en Estados Unidos y en América del Sur. Nuestro chocolate se caracteriza principalmente por ser un chocolate real. Tiene manteca de cacao, que es como el alma del chocolate.
Just one second.
Esta sensación, esa experiencia de chocolate que tenemos al comer un chocolate, se derrite lentamente en la boca, los aromas llegan a la nariz, esa experiencia da la manteca. Nuestro chocolate está hecho 100% con manteca de cacao.
Cacao y el chocolate de Costa Rica no es igual que el resto del mundo. No solo tiene la mejor calidad que podemos aspirar a un chocolate del mundo, sino también las personas que están detrás están inmersos en un sistema social mucho más justo que en el resto de la economía cacautera mundial. Nuestro acercamiento a desarrollo sostenible tiene varios frentes. Sabemos que tenemos que trabajar en una biodiversidad más sana del planeta. Tenemos que trabajar con las mujeres para empoderarlas. Tenemos que aportar disminuir los niveles de pobreza a través de precios justos, entregados a tiempo. Queremos crear comunidades saludables. Creemos que tenemos que trabajar finalmente en un producto saludable, sano.
Okay, so we are coming to the end of our presentation, and we really hope that you have enjoyed this presentation, that you find it insightful. And as I said at the beginning, the most important for us is that you can see our food offer from a different perspective, and that you learn about the story behind our products. So before I let you go, I just want you to invite, if you haven't registered at this time, to the Buyers Trade Mission, which is the biggest the biggest event that we have in Costa Rica. And for this is the first time that we are going virtually in 21 years. So this is a matchmaking event where we expect to have around more than 200 buyers attending to the event and 400 exporters. So make sure to reach out to your office, if you're in New York or in Miami or in Canada, to register. That actually this is the last week of registration, so make sure to reach out to us this week. It will be our pleasure to have you as part at the event. And once again, thank you very much for joining us today, and have a great afternoon. And just before we leave, I don't know if there's any, I'm going to check if there any question on the chat for us. Yes, I don't think we have any. Just, this is the time you have any question. Or if not, I just hope you have a wonderful afternoon today. Thank you very much for joining us today.